Hey everyone, it's Raven. Welcome back to the Nest. What I'll be doing for you all today is checking in on my savings challenges for 2021. As some of you may know, and of course for new viewers, I am on a journey to save an extra $10,000 this year to put towards all things home purchase-esque. So if you are interested in seeing my progress towards my $10,000, stay tuned. Okay, let's first get into this $1 monthly savings challenge. This is essentially a daily savings challenge that I do, where I set aside or move to my savings account an amount equivalent to the day of the month. So like the first $1, the second $2, the third $3, so on and so forth. I also have another savings challenge that I'm doing, which is a $5,200 and 52-week savings challenge. This one is more of a weekly savings challenge, and both of these are printables that I did create. They are listed below in the description box if you would like to download those. They're just a free download that I created. All right, so let's get into this $1 monthly savings challenge, and I need a pen. So let's go ahead and mark off our days, which today is the 30th. So we are essentially going to mark off the 23rd through the 29th. I have not yet allotted my amount for the 30th yet, as I tend to film these pretty early in the morning before I even really get my day started. So let's go ahead and mark off these days. 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, and 29th. We are almost at the end of this month, and we are about to be into September. Like, do you guys, I mean, just how fast this year has gone by is just, I mean, it's just amazing to me. All right, so savings challenge number 1, which that is what I designate this savings challenge as. Let's calculate up to see how much we have saved this past week. So we have 23 plus 24 plus 25, 26, 27, 28, and then 29. That's going to be $182 that I should have saved. Let me always preface that, should have saved, because I do like to post my screenshots and things just to, this is sort of like an accountability situation for me, just to make sure that I am following this savings challenge and that I'm saving the amount that I should be saving each day, each week. So that's what I really like about doing these videos. They keep me very accountable. So for the weekly change for this savings challenge, I should have saved $182. $5,200 in 52-week savings challenge. And like I said, this one is a weekly savings challenge, and the day of the week that I chose to save this amount were on Fridays. So all of these dates you see here correspond with Fridays, and I've essentially been doing this one since the beginning of the year. So in essence, basically, once you finish each week and you save the allotted amount, once you get to the 52nd week, you essentially will have a total of $5,200, which we have 52 weeks in a year. So that means in a year, this is how much you would save. And it just kind of rotates as far as the amounts. So you start off with 70, and then you go to 80, 90, 160, and it starts over at 170. So this past week, we actually passed week 34, and that was an $80 amount that I saved on 8/27, which was this past Friday. And another thing I really like about this sheet is that it gives you the total. So there's really no math or no guessing, you know, with doing this savings challenge. Whereas with the other one, the $1 monthly savings challenge, you're kind of having to calculate things just to keep up with and see how where you are. But month to month, it's okay, because I have here a total box at the bottom where for you to put like the actual total amount that you did save, in case you missed some days or whatever. But I don't see anything wrong with if you happen to skip a few days and then going back in and adding it in later. But in essence, the challenge, you're supposed to follow it day by day, and then at the end you would put your total here. So at least each month that you're doing these, all you would really have to do is pick up all the months that you've completed and calculate up the totals. That way you don't have to go in and count for what other what days that you actually complied with the challenge. You would just go for your total right here. So you have to do a little bit more math with that one, but this one, like I said, I really do like it because it tells you the totals as far as where you are right on the line. All right, so the weekly change for this one would be $80. So that means that we had a total weekly change, and that should have been $262. Essentially, that is what we should have saved this past week. So now we're going to get into our screenshots. I'm posting up here the screenshot from last week where my account balance was. Now, if you did not already know, both of these savings challenges, I am combining them into one savings account. So essentially the money for the $1 monthly savings challenge that I do each day, and then this one for each week, they go into the same Wells Fargo savings account. And I run these on a quarterly basis, and what I mean by that, I'll kind of give you a more in-depth explanation in a minute. But basically, I do this savings challenge for the entire quarter, and at the end of the quarter, I move the money to another savings account. It's just because at heart, I'm a quarterly type person, whereas I refresh things every quarter, even though I do I do weekly budgets and then bi-weekly, and I do my monthly budget, whatever, and I plan in my planner on a daily basis and a weekly basis. But I am very much so like a quarterly person when it comes to like goal setting and planning out my life, because I feel like you have to be able to look ahead to plan for things. So planning by the quarter and doing things by the quarter just makes sense to me. So like I said, so at the end of the quarter, I move this money over to another account, which I'll give you a screenshot of that in just a bit. But like I said, I'm going to post the screenshot here of my Wells Fargo savings account from last week. So our last week's amount was $1,549.06. So let's go ahead and put that in the calendar. Not the calendar, but the calculator. The calculator, $1,549.06. That is what we had last week. And then we want to go ahead and add what our weekly change should have been. So our weekly change was $262. So that means that we should be at a total of $1,811.06. Now, I'm going to post up here my screenshot as of this morning. What I have in there is right where we need to be at our $1,811.06. So, as I mentioned, I was going to pop up another screenshot here. The screenshot that I'm going to put right next to the Wells Fargo one is actually of my Ally savings account. Now, what I do at the end of each quarter, which there's 4 quarters in a year, of course, I move the balance in my Wells Fargo account and I move it over to my Ally savings account. Reason why I did this was because I get a better interest rate over at Ally and than I do at Wells Fargo. So, but it would honestly make more sense for me to run this from my Ally account, and I probably say this every week, but Wells Fargo is my main checking account. It's my main brick and mortar bank, and I probably don't see that ever changing, only because if I need like cashier's checks or bank checks or whatever, I could easily go down to Wells Fargo and get that as I need it. But I do get better interest at Ally, but there's not an Ally bank here in the Memphis area. There is not. I don't know where there is a Ally bank anywhere, but I do know there's not one here in Memphis. So it just makes more sense for me to keep Wells Fargo my main checking account, and then like I said, as the time goes on, I just move it over to Ally where I'm getting a better interest rate. In a sense, that works for me simply because I'm going to use this money eventually to either purchase my home and or purchase, you know, furniture, appliances, just anything all home type. I'm just designated this my home purchase situation. So while that's sitting over there, it's gathering more interest, you know, all those sorts of things, because, you know, the house hunt situation will probably take quite a while. And seeing as how I may be going through the NACA process, I'm not sure. I did attend the home buyers workshop with them over the weekend, and I'm gonna say I'm not too totally convinced. I don't want to say not convinced. I definitely think that it's not like a too good to be true situation, because I do know people personally that have gone through it, but just kind of the it just seems like it's going to be very involved, much involved than if I were to go the traditional route of getting a home. And not to say that I'm not a person who is not willing to dedicate myself to something that is challenging, but just with the various other things going on in my life, if I don't have to go the NACA route, if there's another route I can go through, then why not just go through that other route? That's kind of how I feel. But I did go ahead and set up my first intake appointment with the NACA counselor. It's set up for, I think, mid-September. So I still have more time to think and all that and kind of decide what I want to do. But I did want to go ahead and get the process rolling with NACA in the event I do decide to go that route, because I have, like I said, just through my different reviews, like looking at YouTube videos and people's postings on the YouTube well, not the YouTube, but the Facebook group for it. It just seems like it's a very lengthy process. But I will say, just from reading the different experiences of people, it seems like based on your situation, it could be a lengthier process. So don't know, but like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward with the intake for that, and we will just see what happens. But I'll definitely keep you all updated. If you all are interested in seeing more detailed videos, or I may maybe just dedicate that to making posts on my Instagram. But if you all kind of want to know like updates on how that is going and that process, and you want to know more about NACA, just let me know, and I don't mind sharing with you all what my experience thus far has been. But I say all that to say, putting the money over in Ally just makes more sense, because it's going to be sitting there for a while anyway, while I'm going through the whole process of home buying. And I really haven't even officially started that process anyway, so why not just let it sit, accrue interest, and then, you know, use it for when I need it. So as I was saying, the screenshot here to the left is basically the accumulation of these savings challenges for quarters 1 and 2, which quarter 1 was January through March, and then quarter 2 was April through June. And we're now in quarter 3, which is July through September. July, August, September. Yes, which is July through September. So once we finish up this current quarter, like I'm going to say probably that sometime in like that first week of October, like the first couple of days of October, I do like to let, you know, the end of the quarter really, you know, get on through. So probably like somewhere around like October 1st or 2nd, I will move the entire balance of quarter 3 to this Ally account. And then we will start fresh at $0 in my Wells Fargo savings account for quarter 4. And then at the end of quarter 4, I will move it all over there, and it'll just be sitting and gathering interest and whatever until I need to use it. So that is essentially my plan. It might sound complicated to most, but it makes sense in my mind. Budgeting, and I think I've stressed this in quite a few videos, especially during the Budget Beginner series, which I'll link up above. Budgeting is like a very personal thing. Something that may work for me may not work for you. Something that's working for Joe and Ann over there is not going to work for Jack and Jill. I mean, it's just, it's not. It's personal. It's about what works for you. So this is what works for me. It's what makes me comfortable, and it's what I've been doing. So it's what I'm going to keep doing until I decide to do something else. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, so that you do not miss any more of my videos. Thanks guys. Peace.